Bradley Gunn Raver, you're very welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, thanks.
So I want to start from the start. You're a guy, you love your music and you love going raving. How does the kind of Bradley Gunn Raver project, how does that start?
Well, it all started on a Wednesday evening when I was kind of bored in my bedroom, just scrolling through Facebook. And I had a notification from a girl who invited me to like her horse riding page. So I went on to it.
Not where I thought this was going to go, but yeah.
So I went on to it and I was like, interesting. You know, she's got quite a lot of people following her for her riding horses. And then I thought, well, I should start a page showing off what I love doing. Because, you know, the DJs do it. So I'll just do it on the other side of the decks. So I was like, right, this is either going to go really well or really bad. I'll know within the first week. So I was like, right, what should I call it? I was like going through names and I was like, can't think of any names. So I thought, right, I'll just use my own name, Bradley Gunn, and just stick Raver on the end. And then, yeah. So create the page, invited all my friends to like it. And then a lot of them did like it overnight. And I thought, well, you know, that's quite interesting to see them all engaging with it. So I thought, right, it looks like it's going to go well. So we'll just carry on with it. And then, yeah, over the next year, I was just, you know, uploading videos and photos of the stuff I went to and just gradually building it up, you know, not expecting it to go anywhere, just sort of a personal blog sort of thing. And then, yeah, it started gaining traction. And then when I was at Southwest 4 in London, 2016 in August, in the corner of my eye, I had two security guards over that side and that side, both dancing along, watching me at the start of this day festival at 11 in the morning. And they actually came over to me and they said, oh, can we get a video of us dancing with you? And I said, sure, but if you film it on my phone as well. Because I thought, if this is going to be good, I want it as well.
Yeah, you might as well.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, we both gave someone our phones and we just danced around for like 30 seconds. And then, yeah, I think that video was the sort of thing which really made things from taking off to blowing up.
Yeah. So that was, you were kind of just posting regular like photos and stuff. It was like an Instagram just for your personal kind of thing.
Yeah, just.
And then that one was the one that kind of posted it.
Yeah. You know, I was just posting videos to, you know, show people what I was up to and just making people happy. You know, showing good vibes, spreading happiness. And then yeah, from that moment, it started getting a bit more serious.
How many followers did you have before you posted that video?
So the day before, I had 3,000, which I'd built up over a year. And then it went out in Lab Bible, and then it was at 15,000 a day after. So, you know, it kind of made my years build up look quite
It's like a turning point, basically.
Yeah. So, you know, my year of building at 3,000 made it look like, oh, yeah.
So overnight, 3,000 to 15,000 overnight?
Yeah, that was from the Lab Bible and a few other pages as well.
So what happens in that scenario? Lab Bible picked it up, they messaged you? What happens there?
Yeah, so they got in touch and they said, oh, you know, we like your video, we want to post it, and you have to sort of sign an agreement saying you're not going to sue them if they upload it, and you know, you can't claim them for bringing you bad publicity or good publicity. You know, it's just basically protecting them, and you basically go, yeah, I agree, and then they upload it. Yeah, and then that's what happened, and then yeah,
and it all just blew up from there. And then when you got that 15,000 followers, was that like a game-changing moment where it kind of just snowballs and then every week you're growing more and more?
Well,
because you've gotten
you
that?
kind of had to be careful about it because, you know, you could be one of those overnight celebrities who appears on every TV channel and just goes mental and goes, you know, on like the one show in Big Brother. You know, I could have gone down that route, but I decided not to because I didn't want to be an overnight famous person who nobody really knows why you're famous. Like, yeah, you could become famous, but people wouldn't know why. It's like, I don't really want that. I thought I want to build something up slower, but, you know, build a credible thing that people know why you're there and people respect you for what you are rather than just you're just an internet thing.
And you had that mindset all the way from the start?
Yeah, well, you know, it's built up alongside it because, you know, I wasn't expecting to be this sort of person. So at first I didn't really have those sort of mentality going on, but you know, I've had to adjust my mentality to grow with it because you've got to sort of adapt to the new sort of style of things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then yeah, this was a funny part because, you know, at that part where you've had that overnight sort of boom, you have a lot of more commercial channels interested in you suddenly, who aren't really interested in you. They just see the statistics side from their interests. So you had a few commercial TV channels, which I'm not going to say who and what because I don't want to
Get yourself in trouble.
get into trouble. But yeah, you had a few TV shows who were like, oh yeah, you should definitely come on this and do that. And I was like, well, no, it doesn't make any sense because it's a reality TV show, or like it's a talent program, which, you know, raving's not a talent. I can't justify this as a talent.
Yeah.
And I thought this is just not gonna go with it because yeah, you've got millions of people who are watching it, and you know you're gonna jump me up to be this massive famous person overnight, but people won't know what I'm famous for, and I'll just break down everything I've built up so far.
Yeah.
So I was like, right, I'll turn down those sort of stuff,
Mm.
and I'll just continue working on this. And I thought, I'm never going to get on TV because it seems like they're only interested in me for like the reality TV stuff. And then finally, the BBC got in touch. And when I answered the phone and someone said, oh, hello, it's this person from the BBC. We'd like to bring you on. And I thought, oh, this is going to be interesting. Do they want me on another funny TV show, or is this actually going to be like cool? And they said, oh yeah, we want you to... we've been looking into what you do and we really like it, and we want to put you on the Amazing Humans series and sort of showcase what you do. So you'll have your own episode about you raving, and it'll be about like you and the raving. And I thought, this is the first time I've been offered something like that isn't just for some silly cheap TV show. It's actually going to be meaningful and like worth something. So I thought, right, definitely do that. And then, you know, that was the point where I had built it up to be credible, and people were actually starting to take interest for what it was, rather than just being statistical side. And that was what I was trying to get, I think.
Yeah.
Like, trying to build up something that was... people respected it for what it was.
Yeah. You wanted to keep kind of maybe a level of integrity to what you were doing and kind of maybe protect what you were doing. Would that be right to say? Protect Bradley Gunn Raver,
Like
to
your
make your
brand,
name, your
everything.
brand. You know, you wanted to put out the kind of image, and that you want to do the stuff that you want to do on your terms, right?
Yeah. So everything I did and all the content I put out, it was meant to be coming from me, from like, you know, anything I put out, it had to be something that I did because I loved doing it, not because someone paid you to do it. So I was trying to keep on that level as well, because what you find is as you grow, you get a lot of people interested in you who basically want to pay for you to do this and promote that and promote this, and you can do that, which is fine, but you've got to be careful not to go too hard and too fast in it and sort of lose yourself in becoming a promotional feature.
Yeah, that was actually something I want to touch on. So you obviously, the Lab Bible thing blew up. Your social media started to blow up after a few years. At what point do you stop paying for your own festivals and your own events, and people invite you and they want you to attend? How did that all happen?
I think that's just been a gradual thing over time. So, you know, you get promoters saying, oh yeah, we'd love to have you at our events. If it's far away, we'll pay for your flights, or we'll pay for your train, etc. And, you know, we'll get you over. And, you know, yeah, I go, but only if I want to go, sort of thing. Like, if it's something I do want to go to, and it's saving me money, I'm going to go. But I'm not going to go if it's something that doesn't interest me or that I'm not into. So, you know, they might offer you £500 to go, but if it's not your thing, then you kind of got to turn it down, because I've been careful to keep the financial side of my life separate from the rave side, which I think is important, because I only want to go to stuff which I want to go to, and I don't want to start going to stuff based on what pays more. I think that would change things quite a lot, and I know my mindset can be influenced by money if I allow it to. So that's why I've kept it the financial dependent part of your life separate from the love side.
So you work full time, right?
Yeah, I work Monday to Friday, and I actually enjoy my job, which is quite good. So it works well. And since, most raves are on the weekend, there's not really any sort of clashes that go on. So it's quite a nice thing. Keeps me busy in the week. I'm not sat at home, and I'm busy on the weekend.
And would you say you live kind of a double life? Your weekend life is completely separate, or?
Well, I would say it is separate.
But as in you do your Monday to Friday thing, do you find that like you go out, you have this mad weekend, you're going to festivals, and you come back on Monday and you're thinking, what am I doing here? Or,
No, I have no problems with Monday whatsoever. What's the point in getting stressed out about going to work? You chose to work there. You signed the contract, so get on with it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I've slept Sunday, so it's fine. I have my holiday allowance, which is strictly only used for rave business. So, if you need an extra day because you're there longer or you need to go out midweek to something, then you just, book it off for the week. Book it off for the days off and then go when you need. And then because I only book it off for rave stuff, you find that those 30 days actually give you quite a lot of time. Like there's loads of them. Like, you only book one or 2 days off at a time, and then you can have these 1 or 2 days off every month of the year. So
yeah, and they're quite open. They're quite open to you to do that, right?
Yeah. I think I make it quite clear where I work, what I do, and everyone's fine with it.
Yeah,
it's cool.
So you've had a big year this year. You've been traveling quite a bit. What's been some of the highlights for you personally?
Highlights, as in what I've been to?
Yeah, what was your favorite event, or what did you enjoy the most?
That's interesting because my favorite festival in the UK is Junction 2, which is under the motorway, and it is in Boston Manor Park in London, which is West London. And that's really cool because it's underneath a motorway, and the stage is in line with the road above, and it's not like a disused motorway, it's the M4.
Yeah.
And it's just so cool to have dancing to techno under a motorway. It's just one of those things which, if you haven't done it, you just got to do it.
Yeah.
And then in 2017 my favourite festival abroad was Awakenings, which was the first time I went actually, and totally loved it. So I just kept on going back to Awakenings events, and I'm going to more of them this year. So.
How was Ultra in Miami?
Oh yeah, Ultra was really good. That was the first time I've been to the US as well. So I'd been wanting to go to the US for quite a while now, but with the flights being so expensive, it's one of those things that either you would have to get funded or you're going to have to actually take some weekends out to be able to pay for it, because, 500 quid there and back just for the travel, and then the money required to be there and everything, it's just going to become quite an expensive thing.
Mm.
So I actually got the flights funded through my sponsor, which was really good because, it allowed me to actually go to somewhere like Ultra and allowed me to do more crazy worldwide raving, which I've been wanting to do, without having to worry about the money side too much. I think that's what I want. I want to do more, but I don't want to have to get stressed out with the finance. It's quite a hard one because money is so required in everyday life for everything, yet you don't want to make it about the money. So it's one of those battles you're trying to fight. You're trying to not make money out of it, but you need more money to do what you want to do.
Yeah. Do you find that because you're not, when people do approach you for sponsorships and stuff like that, because you're not you're not looking for the money, you're not looking to kind of make a career out of it, you just want to do more events and festivals and stuff, do you find that kind of gives you power in that scenario, because you're not afraid just to say, nah, I don't want to do that,
I think I do have the power in that sense to, do what I want and turn down what I want a lot easier, and keep my, what I could call now a personal brand, in line with where I want it to go is that because it's not financially driven, it's driven by what I want it to do. It can literally do that. And, you know, my current sponsor, Affection Records, I've known Lee, the guy who runs that, for quite a while now. And we've done quite a few projects together. And then back in August of 2017, he just said, how do you feel about a sponsorship? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. So, you know, he has his logo on my T-shirt.
Mm.
And then, yeah, that helps a lot with raving more, because, you know, it allowed you to, you know, go abroad once a month or so within Europe, or, you know, it just allowed you to expand a bit and go to more places, and taking the stress off financially, which was good. But, you know, I've had other people approach me as well, and sort of more from a commercial side of it, because and be like, oh yeah, we'll sponsor you if you like take a cut out the sales of our products, sort of thing. And it's sort of, I don't want to be a salesperson. I don't want to be a corporate sort of promo gimmick sort of thing.
Yeah.
So because I'm not in it to make a profit or make money, I could turn that down because I don't want to be a salesperson.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Did you ever think that when you started Bradley Gunn Raver that it would enable you just to travel the world, like, and go to festivals like Ultra Awakenings?
Oh no, I had no clue whatsoever.
You had no
I didn't
idea
even
that was
realise
gonna
I would
happen.
be running the page for so long.
Yeah.
You know, it's just one of those things that I just started and didn't have a clue how to run a social media page. I'd never run a social media page before. Yeah, it's just one of those things I just wanted to try out and see how it went, and then totally got into it and obsessed with it. And then now I can sort of talk to you for an hour talking about the psychological reasons why to post this and why to post that and why not to post this, and, you know, how people react to stuff on the psychological level.
So you really kind of, the social media part of things, that's really, you've embraced that, right? You've kind of really got into it. And
Yeah, I find it really interesting. Like, all the stuff around social media, like, it's a dangerous thing, social media, but
how many followers you got?
on Facebook I've got 56,000. On Instagram I've got 21, or coming up to 22 now, which I'm trying to bring up to the same sort of size as my Facebook level, because I've very much concentrated on Facebook quite heavily and sort of forgotten about the others. But yeah, I think my main platforms are Facebook and Instagram, and Twitter I don't really use a lot. It's sort of just, you have an account there just to have the name reserved.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Yeah, I don't really get Twitter, but Facebook and Instagram are my main platforms.
And so, would I say, did you just start these kind of things because you just loved attending these festivals and loved just the music?
Yeah, that was it.
everything
Yeah,
around
I
it?
just started it because I wanted to sort of just spread happiness over social media, and sort of, you know, just show videos to people and being like, look, this is good news, you know, this is good fun. Bit of redirection away from all the bad news that happens in the world, you know. Put a bit of positivity in, dampens the negativity.
Yeah, and at what stage did you get to a point where you were attending these festivals and you, like, you know, were into this music, and now you're mixing with those guys? You know, I see videos of you with Carl Cox, Hot and Say 2, Seth Troxler. You know, these are all guys that before Bradley Gunn Raver was so big that you're probably just attending these guys and, you know, almost, you know, just enjoying their music. But now you could probably call some of them friends, you know? Yeah,
it's been a very interesting thing, and I think, you know, Seth Troxler deserves a lot of credit as well, because I have done a few dancing videos with some smaller DJs before him, but, you know, never on his sort of scale. Before I got his video, and I remember when I was at where was it, Elrow London. It was towards it was like the second or third set in. It was in the afternoon. Like, I think it was about 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and I was raving down at the front right, and, you know, the crowd was still barely, like, it wasn't packed at that point, but it was building up because Seth and Jamie were just coming on, and that's when people were sort of rolling in, and I was already in there, and I saw Jamie tap on Seth's shoulder and point in my direction, and Seth sort of smiled and waved down at me, and I thought, right, I've got the smile of approval. I'll go and get my bands, and I'll go back there for when he finishes, sort of thing. So, got the necessary access passes, and then just sort of half an hour before he finished, I just went back there and sat patiently in the corner, kept out of everyone's way, and then as soon as he finished, I jumped up, and then I'm like, "Hey Seth, how do you feel about doing a little dancing video with me?" And it was like, "Yeah, why not? Let's do it." And then we did it, and then I think he was the first sort of bigger level DJ to actually, you know, get involved on that sort of social media scale and personal level. You know, who you didn't have to prove your worth to and have a list of CV basically going, "Oh, I do this, I do that." It's more like, yeah, let's do it. So,
He just did it just because he liked what you were about. And
exactly, yeah. So I think, you know, because he's quite a nice guy in real life as well, it's sort of, yeah.
And how does it feel? How does it feel when you go somewhere now, and people know who you are? The DJs know who you are, like the DJs that you like, and also the people, just the crowd. You know, when you arrive to places, the people must want photos, and you know.
There are. It varies from time to time. Sometimes you are blasted with photo requests every second for about 10 minutes, and then other times you're not. You know, it's based on where you are and which crowd you're with, sort of thing. But you know, I don't mind it, because what you've got to realise is, you've built this up. This is because of you, sort of thing. You know, they wouldn't be asking for photo requests if you hadn't made them happy and you hadn't sort of inspired them, etc. So you can't really turn it down and be like, you kind of got to just embrace it, really.
I want to talk to you about your Asperger's syndrome. How has like the dancing, raving out in these festivals helped you cope with that in your life?
I don't know. It just sort of has.
Yeah.
I haven't really. It's interesting. I would say that I was more socially closed off before. Like, I was more nervous about going out, etc. And then when I did start going out, because I kind of wanted to force myself to, like, develop, and I thought if I force myself to be in a social situation, it's going to, you're just going to learn the hard way, I guess. And that's another funny thing, is because when I was back in school, you know, like, a lot of people like me who have mental stuff going on, they usually find that they were bullied quite a lot in school, and you know, they were always the odd one out, and they probably didn't like it growing up. Same as me, I didn't like school very much. And then when I grew up out of school, you find that everyone accepts you more, and you can start to become that person you wanted to be in school, who's like friends with everyone. And then I sort of was like, well, I kind of miss being the odd one out now. Like, I've got all these friends, and I've been able to like sort of mix with them now after, you know, years of trying. But I kind of miss being the odd one out. I want to be the odd one out again. So I thought, I've got all these years of experience of dealing with it. It's like, that's like a degree level right there. Like, this you don't want to put it to waste. So I thought, right, we'll take everything I've learned how to deal with this, and we'll chuck it, and we'll just basically take advantage of it. And yeah, I just thought, right, I want to do my own thing. I want to go crazy. I want to wear all these crazy clothes. So yeah, I just put it on and started dancing crazy at events. And you know, people are looking around, sort of being like, look at that guy over there, sort of thing. It's like, I know when people are looking, I know when people are whispering, I know when people are talking about you, but because I've learned how to know that. And it's fine, because I'm used to it, sort of thing. So I didn't mind it, sort of thing. And then over the next year or so, you know, it starts changing. You know, you don't really get that sort of staring and looking. People start to engage more and get involved. So you start actually not only becoming accepted, but you're changing people's perceptions, which is kind of another thing which I was trying to do. I didn't really know what I wanted to change. I just wanted to change something, and I think it's lucky that I did it in a good direction. In that I was not only making, you know, dancing crazy and looking weird more accepted in my perspective, but also raising awareness on mental health a bit. Like, you know, just because someone's acting weird doesn't mean they're fucked. Because that was quite a common question when people didn't really know who I was. A lot of it was like, oh, what are you on? Can I have some? And it was like, well, I'm not actually on anything. I'm just, you know, enjoying it.
Yeah, because you when you go to these events, you dance completely sober.
Yeah.
You just bring your 2 bottles of water and your sound.
And another thing was, when I started it, I didn't actually include the Aspergus in the image. I was like, I want to do my own thing, but I don't want people to know me as the mental guy, because I thought otherwise that's what people will label you as, and that's what you'll be remembered for. And
when you came out, were people more accepting towards you even more, or did like...
Well, yeah, so I started it without it, and I thought, right, I want to be known as the rave guy, not the Aspergus guy.
Right.
And I started that, and we were building it up really well, and it was going well because, you know, a few people knew who were my close friends, and a few people suspected, but it wasn't like a big thing. And I was building it up as the rave guy. And then my really good friend James, who had a friend from school, and another friend Zach, they came up to me. And they said, oh, Brad, you know, we really think we should do an article about your Aspergus. And I was like, well, I don't know. Like, that I've been building up without that, and now we're just going to tell everyone, like, are they just going to know me as the Aspergus guy now and everything's going to be ruined, or is it going to go well? And, yeah, after a few discussions, I agreed to it, and I said, right, if we're going to announce this, it's got to be announced big, and we're going to go with it full confidence. Like, it's going to be like, like all over the media. If we're going to say it, it's got to be like bold statements, like, this is it, this is what's happened. And so they actually wrote the article, which was good because it was written by my friends, which meant, you know, it was an article written by people who actually know you rather than just a media person who doesn't know you at all, which was good because at the time it was going to be quite a sensitive thing because, yeah, you're releasing a lot of sensitive information and putting it all over the internet. So it had to be well sort of presented and put together. So, yeah, they put it out, and then we approached a couple of media outlets, and then, you know, some of them weren't sure about it because it was such a different story being presented to them, and they weren't sure whether they could sort of push it out all over their channels. But then data transmission, they were like, yeah, we're showcase this. So yeah, we put it out, and the moment came through with the link saying, right, it's live now, and then yeah, it went really well, and it had a really good reception, which I wasn't sure what to expect from what people were going to think of it, but yeah, it went really well, and it actually inspired quite a lot of people, which is quite cool.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you about that. As a result of all this, do you think that people that are in similar circumstances to you, like, they've been empowered about this and like they've actually conquered their fears as a result? Have you got any people that like reach out to you and like with gratitude?
Yeah, I get a lot of it on Instagram and through messages on Facebook from people telling me how they've also got Asperger's, or their brother or their sister or their daughter, because there's a lot of parents who follow me actually, which is quite funny, who like say, oh, I want my son to be like you when he's older and everything. Maybe not exactly like me, but they just want them to have the confidence and just to do what they want, sort of thing. And yeah, they're quite in-depth, long messages, which, you know, paragraphs long, just basically saying how, I make them feel more positive and to give them the power of confidence to go out and do what they do, and how they have done it and now they feel empowered, etc. So yeah, just a range of stuff that's really positive, really. Yeah.
Fair play.
And like, obviously, you mentioned there how you one day just decided that you wanted to go out and have the confidence just to dance and not care, and go on your own as well. What was that defining moment? What was it that made you say, right, you know what, this is what I'm going to do, and I actually don't care? Do you know what I mean? What was that flicked the switch and you said, I'm just going to go for it?
I think it was a sort of a period of time. Like it was a number of small events over time which built up to that overall sort of final decision. Like I didn't sit there and think this is what I'm going to do. I think it happened over a few months gradually without me realizing. Like there was one point I wasn't actually thinking about it from a mental perspective or like a business or like any sort of those sort of reasons. There wasn't like a conclusive statement as to why I'm going to do this. It just sort of happened. A lot of the thing I've realised why I do things is after I've started doing it. So like the main reason I started dressing like how I was because I didn't want to carry around a bottle of water with me from the because you had to put it down, you had to carry it. It was just like something that could be made easier. So I bought a water bottle pack which had the bottles, and then you could just put them in your waist and forget about them. And then when I bought that, I was like, well, if I'm going to buy that, I need some Rave leggings. So I went and bought the Rave leggings, and I thought, well, if I need that, I need some better shoes. So I bought the shoes, and I was like, well, if I need that, I need some goggles. And it just sort of spiraled overnight, and I spent 150 quid on Amazon and eBay just buying all this stuff, which I didn't really know what I bought at the time. And it all arrived within a week. And I put it on, and I was like, this is perfect.
That'll do.
Yeah. And then I was like, right, this is the first time it's being worn out. Let's see how it goes, are people just gonna allow it, or are they gonna be, against it, or just, positive? I don't know what people think, but that's not why I'm doing it. So we're just gonna forget about that, and we're just gonna go for it. And then it actually went really well. And the first time I wore them, there wasn't too much judgments going on. You had a few people going like, oh, what are you dressed as? What's your theme, sort of thing? Because obviously it's a rave, so it's like if you're dressed up, you've got to be dressed as something. Mm. And I was like, well, no, guys, this is me, sort of thing. I'm not dressed up to be a character. Like, this is it. Like, I am the character. Mm. Like, I think I was trying to get that point across. And then some people were like, oh, why are you wearing cycling shorts? And I was like, these aren't cycling shorts. They are running tights.
Just to get that very clear.
Yeah, they are actually labelled that on the receipt and the product description. Like, so get it right before you ask questions, sort of thing. If I was wearing cycling shorts, they'd have more pockets. Like, yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. Like, come on, guys. Like, if you... And then they were like, oh, did you ride your bike here? Did you cycle here? And I'm like...
Have you ever seen someone that's trying to copy your style? Have you ever been at an event, you're like, why is he wearing the same glasses as me?
There are people who wear similar sort of goggles sometimes, but I don't think they're trying to copy me or anything.
No worries. I checked out your Instagram and I stumbled across the video of you on the treadmill. So please tell me about that. How did that come about?
It's genius. That's genius.
It's a great video.
Oh, the one where I was dancing on it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that was an interesting one because my neighbour had a treadmill, and it was my neighbour and his wife was the one who actually got the treadmill in the first place, but she never used it, so it's basically just sitting in their garage. And I used to go over their house on Friday nights, and when I wasn't doing anything, and James would he had some decks in the garage, so we would play around on those, and then while he was playing around with some tunes, I would get on the treadmill and dance on it, and I was like, no, I want this. And I was like, how much did you pay for it? And they were like 100 quid, and I was like, do you ever use it? And they were like, no. And I said, is it taking up space? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, well, how about I pay you £100 for it, and I take it off your hands? And then, yeah, that was a deal done. It was really a logistical problem to get it to my house. I had to get my friend to get his van over, and it wouldn't even fit through the door of my house. We had to take it back, take it apart into 2 pieces, and then take it back again. And then I didn't really know why I bought it. I just wanted to do a dancing video on it. So set it up, wired it all in. I actually spent about an hour and a half by myself trying to put together this massive treadmill, which was because I'm not like a muscly guy, it was quite a problem. I had to sort of spend ages putting it together, and then I did the dancing video on it, and I didn't really use it again because I'd used it for what I wanted to use it for, and I sort of run on it a few times, but running's boring.
So now it's just sitting in the room.
Yeah,
Just picking
it
up
was
dust.
just sitting there. Yeah,
But you did one where it was just yourself. Then you did one where there was a full on kind of DJ.
Yeah,
setup
that was
and
my
stuff,
friend
right?
Ross. That was part of my Monday evening rave sessions live stream series. And so it was quite a funny one because we had to get a bespoke sized table to fit next to it. So I had to send him the exact centimetres of the maximum width it could be. And then because he was a carpenter or something like that, he could put together a table. So yeah, we had a specially designed table just for that night. An hour's live stream. Quite a lot of logistics and
That's some operation, yeah, for a live stream. What was the Monday night rave sessions that you can't do a different place every week?
yeah. So that started back in early 2016. Actually, I actually started it on my personal profile, so it wasn't public video. It was just to my friends, sort of thing. And I didn't even have DJs. I just click on YouTube videos and dance around my room for like an hour, just switching the video and then just dancing around and just making people laugh on a Monday night. Because it was Monday, I was like, we need to make Mondays less dull, so this is one way to make it less boring. And then I could see that people were actually watching these videos and they were enjoying them. So I thought, right, I want to switch it over to my public page, but I don't want to switch it over with just me. I need to have a DJ on it. So I spoke to a few of my friends and they were like, oh yeah, we want to do it. So I got around my friend and this was the moment we were switching from personal video to public video. It was like, this needs to go well. And it was actually in my bedroom at the time, with my PC screen acting as a strobe light. And the lighting, I had it all off stuff in my bedroom, which, actually made it look quite good. But at the time, it probably didn't look good to a professional production team.
Yeah.
But this was a homemade live stream video. And then we were doing that every single week for a few months, just a different DJ every week. I even had 2 guys come all the way down from Manchester. They travelled 7 hours on the coach just to come and DJ for an hour on my little live stream, which was quite unbelievable, which was Subnote and Inner B, which, yeah, that was crazy. And then I stopped it for a bit and decided I didn't want to do it in my bedroom anymore. We wanted to do it in different locations. So we actually got it to a beach party, its own beach party down in Portland, in Dorset, which was helped organised by my mum actually. She talked to the people who owned the venue and said, did you want to host a Monday evening rave? And they were like, yeah. So
Big ups, Mrs. Gunn.
yeah, well, yeah. And then we just had a beach party for a Monday evening rave session based on this thing that I started in my bedroom, which was kind of weird. And because we were all doing it for the love, we weren't paying venue hire fees. We weren't, there was no money exchange between. It was just like for the love of it, which was the best part because, it wasn't a financially driven event. No one had to pay to be there. No one had to worry about tickets or it was just turn up. And then, we had people from the public coming along. And then, then we did it in a field as well. So after that, I thought, right, we want to do it in more weird locations, not in a bedroom anymore. So then it became a less frequent thing and only popped up whenever there was an idea that came into our head. So we've done it in a hairdresser's, we've done it on the treadmill. Yeah, we've done it in a few places now.
Do you find that as you've grown, the opportunities of things to do, things like that, like in crazy place, raves and crazy place stuff, have just grown and grown and grown?
Yeah, well, kind of, yeah and no. Like, that Monday thing is just a thing whenever I want to do it, when I see the idea. Like, I don't want that to become another promotional feature. Like, this is truly just a fun thing for people to watch rather than promoting an event. Because that's another thing. Because I've been involved in quite a lot of promotional videos for events, but I will only do that if it can be more creative and if I'm in it. Like, I'm not going to share a ticket link or a poster to an event, because you've got plenty of people already doing that. You've got the promoters who post it. I don't want to become just a ticket reseller, because that's not what I am. That's not why people follow me. They don't follow me to see, how much a ticket is on second release or when it's going to sell out. They would follow the promoter if they want to see that. Mine is mainly focused on just like fun and dancing around.
Based around just the fact that your love for the music, your love for
Exactly.
events and stuff, right?
So I have to keep it strict, and I turn down a lot of stuff. Like, although I do a lot, and it looks like I'm saying yes to everything, there's a lot of stuff I'm turning down all the time. Because it's not going to be like good in the long run, or like, because I don't share ticket links, I've got to say no to anyone for that. I can't be like, oh yeah, because you're close to me, I'll share your ticket link. No, it's got to be one standard rule, like, no ticket link shared, just like,
yeah.
And then because I've sort of focused on, if I'm going to do promotional stuff, it's got to be more creative, and I want to be part of the advert rather than sharing an advert. Then more promoters invest in that, and then it allows me to share it as well, and not share it from a promotional point of view, but from a fun point of view.
Yeah.
So then the promoter gets what they want, and I get to spread happiness.
Yeah.
Rather than just sharing a lineup photo.
Yeah. Like, you're known for like dancing for over extensive periods of time. What's the longest you've ever gone?
The longest I attended events for was 30 hours back in New Year's 2014/15, and that was a series of 4 events over 30 hours. Because I had previously done a 24-hour event that year, I thought, well, New Year's is the biggest night of the year. You can't have a night better than New Year's. You've got to step it up and make sure that this New Year's event has covered everything before in that year. And so I thought, right, we're going to go crazy and just see how long I can last, and put 4 events back to back. So yeah, it was more of a test, I think, rather than go out and enjoy yourself for 2 days. I think it was more just to see, can I do it? It's just a one-time thing. We're not going to do this every week. And yeah, I did do it. 24 hours went past fine. 30 hours went past fine. But between 30 hours and 35 hours, that was when things were starting to get like, just trying to stay awake. And it was, that was the tiring part. And then the last 3 hours just basically just staying awake. And then
How do you keep going?
it's just called mental commitment. You're only as tired as your mind is. Like, if you got physically tired, then how would you be so awake 3 hours later? Like, if your mind, like, think of it, like, a lot of these drugs, they only have mental effects, but suddenly people are energized. So if you can give yourself the mental energy, you don't need anything. You just have to get excited and, tell yourself I'm energized, and then you are.
It's just that easy?
It's not as
Did you work towards being able to do that?
It sounds easy, but I think it's a lot of self-commitment you've got to put in. Like, you can't just do it. You've got to tell yourself you can do it and believe you can do it. And, you've got to be in that mindset where you truly think you can do it. And when you get to that point where you'll be like, this is it, then that is it. But you've got to be in that mind zone that you know, there isn't an if, it is a will.
Mm. So you did like all 30 something hours, like it was just non-stop? Like how did you go about eating and all that kind of stuff?
Well, I mean, all the 4 events were in different places, but they were all
Right.
in London, so I think the maximum time out of it at a time was 30 minutes. So, you know, that was the crossover between
Yeah,
exiting one event to getting into the next one.
that's insane.
Are you going to try break a record one day?
No,
No.
no, I'm not doing
That's not an
that.
objective now.
I'm not,
That was a stern no right there.
yeah. I'm not-
Out of curiosity, do you know what the record is?
no, I don't know what the record
You
is.
probably do. You know?
I don't know.
You
The
probably
thing is,
hold
this
it.
was this was a personal milestone. It wasn't trying to prove it to anyone else, sort of thing. This was just like, let's just see how long I can last. And I know that it was hard, and now I'm starting to focus on doing more stuff I enjoy rather than seeing how long I can last. So like, if I've had such a great time, if it's like a multi-day sort of festival, if I've had a great time in the day and I know it's on tomorrow, I'm not going to go to the after party because I've had a great day. So I'll go to sleep, get the rest back, and then go back bright and early the next morning and have a full day of raving again at the parts which I want to enjoy more than just, you know, trying to be out all night. Like I've done the parts now where I'm out all night. I know I can do it, but I think now I'm starting to focus on enjoying the time that I'm there rather than making myself tired and not enjoying it so much.
It sounds like kind of everything that you do is just based on doing what you love, as opposed like that's the overall kind of factor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What do you think is so special about raving? What do you love so much about
I
it?
think it's not just the raving. I think it's everything around it. Like I like the traveling and everything. I like traveling alone and going alone because I know a lot of people, and you know, it's not like I'm alone when I get to the event. There's a lot of people I know. It's like, oh hey, how are you doing, sort of thing. But that's one thing. I like to travel alone. I don't like to travel with people because, you know, I like to stick to a schedule when going to my events, and I like to be there on time. I want to be there at start. I don't want to be halfway there and someone unexpectedly has to go for a toilet break, and then you're held up, and then you miss this and you miss that. When I'm traveling, it's a nice time to just be like in your own sort of mental zone, not talking to anyone for 2 hours when you're on the train. And you know, I've perfected the traveling around because when I went to Portugal for BPM, I got on a flight at, I think it was some early time in the morning. It was like 6 or 7, and then I landed in Portugal at like 9:30, and then I got a taxi straight from the airport, and I arrived at the festival site 15 minutes prior to opening. Straight from home to Portugal at the rave within the same morning, 15 minutes before it starts. I was like, perfection. Like, you couldn't get any more of a slick journey. And because I wasn't staying in a hotel, I was only there for the day. I was only there for 1 day and 1 night. I just turned up in the morning, raved the day, raved the night, and come home. And, you know, these airport transfers, they often require you to put in a hotel address to where you're going. So I thought, right, this is where I can pick any hotel I want because I'm not staying in any of them. So I thought, right, I will pick a really posh 5-star one close to where I need to be, because then the driver will be like, oh yes, we better get there fast because you're quite an important customer. So like, I thought, yeah, we'll go with that sort of mentality. So I picked like an expensive 5-star hotel near to where the festival was, thinking that I would get quite a posh reception. But I didn't. It was
Just same old.
Yeah, same old thing. But, you know, at least I know that doesn't work, so that's good.
So are you always the first one in and last one to leave?
No, I used to be first one in all the time, but now I've realised I don't need to be there 5 hours before it starts.
It's not ideal, really.
No.
Is it?
We used to be queuing up beforehand and waiting for those open?
Yeah, like
Really?
an hour before, but now I just turn up just a little bit before or based on the event, I'll turn up at different times. So like if it's like a big festival, I'll be there at least 2 hours before. But if it's like a local thing, then you know I'll be there on the dot, or maybe 5 minutes late or something. yeah, because that's the one thing I've had to adjust to, because with the Asperger's, you're quite on time with everything. It's like you're never late, you're always early, sort of thing. And that's one thing I've adjusted with. And then last one out, I used to be quite a lot of the time, and then things start getting more busy. You know, you start going to more events, like you're in London in the daytime, and then in the night time you're in Spain. So you started not being able to stay to the end because you had to get on a plane. So you could only stay there for 4 hours and then run off to the airport. And also I'll stay at the event based on how much I'm enjoying that event. So, you know, because you're not going to enjoy every single event as much as the other one. Like, it's all going to be different. So some events I get really, really into it, and I'm there for the entire duration, whereas others I'm sort of a bit like, yeah, I'm enjoying it, but, you know, I think I'm done now, sort of thing. So.
And to round it up, what can we expect from Bradley Gunn Raver in 2018? Like, where are you planning on going?
Well, I'll be doing a keynote interview at the International Music Summit in the end of May. So that's a big thing. And yeah, I'll just be everywhere, really. I sort of plan things only a few months in advance, so it's quite, you know, it's not like big time DJ of 2 years of bookings ahead. I sort of like, if someone wants me to book me for something in September and it's only February, I'll be like, well, I'll let you know in July, sort of thing. I'll keep it in calendar as a maybe, but we'll cross it off when it gets to July. So, like, you know, because, you know, you've got to be ready for anything else that pops up. So you've got to see all the options before going.
So the plan is just keep doing more, keep going to raves, keep on going.
Just, you know, do more. Just basically go to bigger and more stuff. So, yeah, I just want to rave everywhere, really. Like, so I've been to the US once now, so I want to do that more. And yeah, just see where you go with it. Like, there's no real sort of 5-year plan. I don't have like a business perspective on like, oh, in year 2 we'll do this, in year 3 I'll do that. It's sort of just like live it day by day, see what mood you're in and see where you want to go, and just, you know, try different things out based on what you're thinking.
Well, I honestly can't thank you enough for making the trip down. It's been really good. It's been really good having you down for the day, and just like such a refreshing kind of attitude towards everything, honestly. So thank you very much for joining us on the 4-4 podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thanks for coming down.
Best of luck in the future, man.
Big time.
See you there.